I give the miracles I have received. You give the miracles you have received. Welcome back, fam. Today we're going to be studying lesson 159 of A Course in Miracles. This goes off of what we've been learning recently, which is giving and receiving are one in truth. Now, this lesson opens up very powerfully, so we're gonna dive straight into it. Go ahead and open up to the lesson if you're not there already, and if you don't got the book, the PDF is in the description. Now let's go ahead and begin. No one can give what he has not received. To give a thing requires first you have it in your own possession. Now, this is common sense. We know that obviously we have to have something in order to give it. Now, it's going to prove a very, very solid point here. So let's go ahead and continue. But let's understand the magnitude of those two first sentences right there, because they are the basis for which the rest of this lesson is going to be based upon. So, one more time. No one can give what he has not received. To give a thing requires first you have it in your own possession. Here, the laws of heaven and the world agree, but here they also separate. The world believes that to possess a thing, it must be kept. Salvation teaches otherwise. To give is how to recognize you have received. It is the proof that what you have is yours. Now, this is powerful. We're going to go ahead and use an analogy, okay? So let's just say, what can we use? I'm going to use this pen right here, okay? So we have a pen right here. Now, the world teaches that to possess a thing, it must be kept. I possess this pen, therefore I keep the pen. It is mine, I possess it. However, remember, this pen does not mean anything. It is nothingness, it is dust. And this pen is just as much dust as your dream vehicle. This pen is just as much dust as the body you think you are. It is all dust. They are all equivalent. There is no difference between this and a car. There is no difference between this hand and a cat. There is no difference between this earring and a house. There is no difference between none of the stuff in this world, because it is all an illusion. That may sound very far-fetched and woo-woo to someone who is not here on a regular basis, but because me and you have been here on a regular basis, meaning here in this state of mind, we understand that there is nothing that can cause us to believe otherwise, because we have seen the real world, me and you together here in our sessions. We have seen the real world, we have experienced it, and we have maintained that state for so long that we understand what the world is, and the world is an illusion. Now, the world believes that to have something and possess it, it is yours. Now, and it states right here, salvation teaches otherwise. To give is how to recognize you have received. It is the proof that what you have is yours. Now, whenever I give you something, let's just say I give you love, okay? I give you love in whatever form that may take, whether that be me giving you my favorite pen. Here you go, you can have that, and I give it with love. Or I give you just good thoughts, and I'm like, you look really good today. You're going to succeed today. You are powerful. You are love and light. And I share that thought your way. That is me giving you love. That is me giving. And because I give that, I must receive it myself, because thoughts do not leave their source, meaning that thought of me projecting out, extending outward, actually, that thought of me extending, you are love and light, and I give this, my favorite pen, to you with love, those thoughts must have came from somewhere, and they came from me, because I'm the one who's thinking them, meaning I have that to give, meaning I give it to you, therefore I strengthen it in myself and receive it in myself. It is going to take some time to understand this whenever you're new to this information, but if you've been getting a grasp of this information already, then I'm sure that this is making perfect sense to you. Now, the opposite is also true. If I were to give this pen to you, but I felt obligated to do so, I'm like, here's my favorite pen, and I feel resentful for giving you that pen, and I feel like I lost something. I feel like I lacked something because of how much I valued this dust, this conglomeration of dust right here, because I valued it for so much, and I feel like I'm giving away that value that thing that I think is valuable, which is not. It's not valuable. Dust is not valuable. Illusions are not valuable. The only thing that's valuable about this pen is the belief that I believe it's valuable, but it's not valuable within itself. Now, I give my favorite pen away to you. I feel resentful for doing so, and I am saying, I hope that you lose it. I hope that um, something bad happens to you, or you're not enough, or you're this, you're that, and I'm kind of judging you for whatever reason. These are just bulky analogies, but the point is, those thoughts are coming from somewhere, meaning they're coming from my mind. I am thinking those thoughts. Now, those thoughts do not exist in truth because they are fear based. They are the absence of love, therefore, they are an illusion. But because I'm projecting those thoughts on you, I'm the projector, meaning the source is me. Therefore, I am giving that, and therefore, I am reinforcing that belief in myself that you are a body, things of this world are valuable. And because I give you that energy and those thoughts and that state of mind and consciousness, I reinforce it in myself. Therefore, I receive what I just gave to you, which is why whenever you know that, it's going to be very important for you now to really pay attention to what you're giving other people, not in terms of physical materials, but what am I giving this person with my thoughts? What do I think about this person? You could think about people right now that you do not like, that you dislike. You could think about individuals who you believe have done you wrong in the past. I'm sure their names are popping up right now in your mind, and those thoughts about those individuals are what you're really giving yourself, because those thoughts that you are giving them must come from somewhere. Now, what we're suggesting here is not to be in denial and understand. Don't be like, oh yeah, this person did something so terribly bad to me, but it's okay, and and like like kind of like standoffish, like sarcastically. No, it's not to be in denial that there are brothers and sisters of ours in this world who are asleep and who are acting insanely. And in times where you need to confront that and say no, then you are going to have to do just that. So, in by any means, no way are we saying that you have to be in denial of that there are people in this world who are asleep. The whole point is to understand that and still give them love anyways, because although this individual over there has deviated from their source, although they can never really do that, but in their mind they have deviated from their source and they believe that they're the body and they're attacking you and acting insanely, you are going to understand that all of that is a call for love, and you are going to bless them, wish them luck, and hopefully that their mind heals and they return to their natural state of being, because you are them, they are you, we are all one and the same, but they just forgot that and they have deviated from that knowingness. But they are still no different in truth. In this world, although yes, they may be acting insane, but in truth, nothing that anybody ever does can change the fact that they are a creation, an extension of God, of Source. Nothing can change that fact. So it's important to understand what you're giving people. If you're judging that individual because they're acting insanely and you're believing that it's them, that's where the problem lies. Because now you believe they're a body, now you believe that they are attacking, and you believe that attack is real. You believe you could be attacked, therefore you're attacking yourself with those thoughts, because you receive what you give. Giving and receiving are one in truth. And when we know this, when we know this, then we are going to have nothing but the best thoughts of love and light for everyone and everything that crosses our paths, because we understand that we are one with those things that we are projecting or extending thoughts on. And let's make sure to extend and not project, because projecting is a form of giving something that does not really exist, which is fear. And extending is a form of giving everything that there really is and everything that you have and are, which is love and light. And whenever you give something, you're going to receive it yourself, which is why it's important for you to be aware of what you are giving to others. Now let's go and continue. You understand that you are held when you give healing. You are healed when you give healing. You accept forgiveness as accomplished in yourself when you forgive. You recognize your brother as yourself, and thus do you perceive that you are whole. There is no miracle you cannot give, for all are given you. Receive them now by opening the storehouse of your mind where they are laid, and give them away. Christ's vision is a miracle. It comes from far beyond itself, for it reflects eternal love and the rebirth of love which never dies, but has been kept obscure. Christ's vision pictures heaven, for it sees a world so like to heaven that what God created perfect can be mirrored there. The darkened glass the world presents can show but twisted images and broken parts. The real world pictures heaven's innocence. Heaven's vision is the miracle in which all miracles are born. It is their source, remaining with each miracle you give and yet remaining yours. Meaning, we give something and it is still ours fully, although we gave it. I'm going to give a good analogy of this that the course uses to help this concept, which is not really a concept, but it's truth that our minds can't comprehend because our mind can't comprehend what's beyond itself. So this analogy is hopefully going to help with that. Now, think about giving something in this world. I have this highlighter, I give it to you, I don't have the highlighter no more. Now, in truth, what you give, you reinforce in yourself. Meaning, if I were to create an idea of, let's just say I invented a highlighter, okay? Let's just say I gave so much thought to a highlighter, a utensil that I can use to highlight a piece of knowledge or words on a book, and the purpose of this utensil is to note and make it known that this is an important piece of information. So I'm going to mark up the text and annotate it with this highlighter, so that way I have a point of reference to go back on and see one of the most crucial parts of that text, something that I really wanted to remember, something that stood out to me at that point in time whenever I used this utensil and highlighted the book. Let's just pretend that I was forming the idea of a highlighter and it ended up becoming this physical counterpart right here, okay? Now, forget the counterpart. Let's just think of the idea right now. A highlighter. Pretend I invented that, okay? Just for this analogy, pretend I invented a highlighter. Now, the highlighter right now, because there's no physical counterpart yet, let's pretend that doesn't exist yet. I have the idea of a highlighter and I share with you. So I'm happy, I'm hyped, I created an invention that I think is going to make me millions, and I come to you and I say, yo, guess what? I just had the best idea. I'm currently in the process of creating this utensil which I'm going to call a highlighter. What I'm going to use it for is to annotate text. So whenever I see an important piece of information that I would like to remember and recall at a later point in time, I'm going to use this utensil and I'm going to highlight the text, and it's going to be in like a bright neon color, and it is going to stand out from the rest of the text, so I know that there's something important right there. This is my idea. What do you think about it? Now, with me, I just gave you my idea. There's the idea of a highlighter in my mind, and I gave you that idea, but check this out. Because I gave you the idea of the highlighter, that doesn't lessen the idea in my mind. I still have and contain the entirety of the idea, and so do you. So now me and you both share this idea and concept of a highlighter, and because I gave it to you and shared it with you, no way diminished it in my mind. It actually expanded in my mind, first of all, because by me teaching you about a highlighter, the idea that I'm creating, and by me giving you that idea, I am increasing it because now it's in another mind. And now every time you think of highlighter, you are activating that thought that I came up with, and it is being strengthened in my mind and yours. Therefore, we're both perpetuating the idea of the highlighter. So this is a good example that the course uses somewhere in the text, and this goes to show that everything that we see in this world is reflecting an idea. So we have to understand that, and we have to understand that ideas only expand, they never contract, they never go back to what they were before. Once something expands, it can never be what it was previously. Everything is always evolving and expanding in this world, and from that new expanded point of view, that point of view is a new reference point to give birth to new desires, and it gives birth to new desires, and then that new reference point and continue, so on and so forth. So there is no stopping to the expansion that me and you can contain, that me and you can experience. There is no limit to what me and you can accomplish and become, be, do, and have. Now, let's think of the idea of ideas, okay? Ideas expand as they are shared. So, although I give you this highlighter in physical reality now, and I say, here's this highlighter, and someone looks at me and thinks I no longer have a highlighter no more. In this world, yes, that may be true that I no longer have the physical highlighter, but the idea which this symbol represents is now strengthened within my mind and yours. Not only is the symbol strengthened, but the energy that I gave the symbol with is also strengthened in my mind as well. Meaning, if I give this highlighter to you and I don't see it as a symbol, but I see it as an actual valuable thing in this world, I'm going to say, here you go, and I'm going to feel resentful after giving you the highlighter. Therefore, I am strengthening the idea of lack in my mind, because I believe giving you something that is meaningless is going to cause some form of lack within the Son of God, which cannot ever be. Me and you never lack anything at any point in time, although we can believe we do. So the energy that I'm giving you this with is more important than actually giving you anything, because if I give this to you with abundance and I say, you know what, I really love this highlighter, but I want you to have it, here you go, and I give it to you with abundance and love, then I am strengthening and reinforcing the belief of abundance and love, and knowing that that is a renewable resource. There is always going to be more of any resource that I desire in this world. There is no lack. Everything that I need is at my command. And that is the idea and state of mind and truth that I am reinforcing in my mind. Because everything that we see right now with our physical eyes is only and simply reflecting an idea. All things are that. Nothing in this world means anything. They are just symbols. And those symbols are reflecting ideas that are eternal, but the symbol is not eternal. Meaning these glasses that you see, they are temporary, they are not eternal, they are an illusion, because they're going to turn to dust in this world and perish and no longer be. However, the idea of what this pair of glasses is eternal, because the idea of glasses will forever be, because it is an idea, and ideas can never leave their source. So let's go ahead and continue, but I hope this analogy is something that helped kind of give you a more solid understanding, if you didn't have one already, of how giving and receiving are one in truth. Christ's vision is the miracle in which all miracles are born. It is their source, remaining with each miracle you give, and yet remaining yours. It is the bond by which their giver and receiver are united in extension here on earth, as they are one in heaven. Christ beholds no sin in anyone, and in his sight the sinless are as one. Their holiness was given by his Father and himself. Christ's vision is the bridge between the worlds, and in its power can you safely trust to carry you from this world into one made holy by forgiveness. Things which seem quite solid here are merely shadows there, transparent, faintly seen, at times forgot, and never able to obscure the light that shines beyond them. Holiness has been restored to vision, and the blind can see. This is the Holy Spirit's single gift, the treasure house to which you can appeal with perfect certainty for all the things that can contribute to your happiness. All are laid here already. All can be received but for the asking. Here, the door is never locked, and no one is denied his least request or his most urgent need. There is no sickness not already healed, no lack unsatisfied, no need unmet within this golden treasury of Christ. Now, this is powerful. One more time. There is no sickness not already healed, because although we think that we have a problem of sickness, if we were to look at the only problem that there ever is, which is, although me and you from time to time believe that we have many problems, if we look at the core, the foundation of that problem that we think exists, we're going to find out that this core of this problem in relation to my vehicle is the same core of the problem that seems to be dealing with relationships or money. So although the form may appear different in this world, at the very core, the basis of that problem is the same. There's only one problem and one solution. The problem is that me and you believe that we are separate from our source, separate from one another, separate from all that is, and that is what is causing that pain, because me and you have deviated from our source of wellness and health and well-being and vitality by adding resistance with this powerful tool of ours. We have twisted our hose, so to speak, so now water is not able to flow through the hose as clearly and smoothly and effortlessly as it would if we were not holding that hose tightly closed. Now, because we're resisting and we're unknowingly doing that, it is showing up in sickness in our body, it is showing up in lacks in this world, and in unsatisfied needs. Now, whenever we learn what we're learning right now, and a better way to say that is whenever we remember that we have learned junk that caused us to forget what we're in the process of remembering right now, whenever me and you remember that everything is here and now always, then we understand that the the problem that at the core of everything that we think we're struggling with is the idea of separation. And the answer is given. The answer is there is no separation and never has been, and separation was only a belief in your mind. And whenever you understand that the answer is here and now, there is no time necessary for you to get well, because wellness is here and now. Happiness is here and now. Vitality, youthfulness, joy, laughter, money, prosperity, abundance, relationships are all here and now. It's just that most of us are too caught up with the form, meaning me and you think that we have to be, in order to be not alone, another body has to be here with us. And that is the belief that is keeping us alone in any case. Whenever we understand to release attachment to form and understand that we already have all the money, the prosperity, the abundance, the relationships, we are one with and a part of all aspects of creation. Whenever we understand that on a deeper level, that's what's happening always, and the form is just reflecting back your current beliefs, then you're going to pay more attention to your beliefs. You're going to pay more attention to flowing energy towards the truth. And as you give more attention and flow more consciousness and energy and life force towards the truth, then the physical world will begin to solidify around that new belief system. And then now the people will be here, and you will no longer be alone. Your body will have other bodies around it. Your bank account will have more dollar bills in it. Your life will be fulfilled, because you are cause. Your perception is the cause of what you are experiencing right now. This cannot be said enough times. It's being said by so many different people nowadays, and still for some reason we do not fully and we have not fully adapted to that way of thinking. It's not even a belief or a way of thinking. It is just how things work in this world. And to this day, a lot of people deny that fact, but it is something that there is no evidence to the contrary of. You can deny it all you want, but you are going to waste your time and continue to be allowing other things to be in control when you are the source and the cause and the power in your world. And whenever you accept truth, then you will be more deliberate about where you're flowing your life force. And when you're more deliberate about flowing your life force, you're going to be more deliberate about flowing your life force towards things that make you feel peaceful and in your natural state. And when you do that, the entire physical world will form around that new belief system, and everything will be a reflection of that. But right now, while we're in the process of going from somewhere we wouldn't prefer in the physical world to somewhere where we do prefer and desire to be, it is going to require me and you to not be so caught up on the form and understand that form is nothingness. We already have the answer right here and now. No time is necessary for us to be a vibrational match to the answer. It is here and now. And I could even pull out the trusty old school technology right here. Let's go ahead and use this analogy, because this is a perfect example for what we are going to be discussing for the rest of this lesson. So check this out. Okay, you hear this song? I could change the song in an instant. If I don't like this song, if I don't like this channel, simply change it. There's no time necessary for me to tune into another station at all. Zero time. Same thing that's going on right now, right here with our current physical world that we think is all that is. It's really not. There's so much happening beneath the surface, beneath our level of awareness. We think that what we see, hear, smell, taste, and touch is truth. It is not. It is only a portion of what is really there. Therefore, you're only getting a small, minute piece of information in relation to what's really going on, and your decisions being based off of your physical senses are always going to lead you in a direction that you think is the best interest for you, but there is something much more sweet, much more powerful, much more abundant and deserving of you if you were to follow your intuition and guidance from someone who sees from a bird's eye view, from a perspective that you can't see while identifying with this body. Whenever you learn how to transcend this body and become that love and light that you are, then you are that bird's eye view perspective, and now you can see, and not with the body's eyes, but you can see with true vision, and you have a more clear view of all that is, rather than this tiny little radar screen that you're basing all your information off of. So just understand that it takes no time at all to be from sickness to healed, or to be from lack and unsatisfied to where your needs are met and you're happy. Just understand that no time is necessary, and as long as you believe that time is necessary to go from one state to another, then you are reinforcing the belief in time, and time is going to produce fear, because time is separation. Whenever you know that you are one with and a part of all that is right here and now in eternity, and now this instant, this nanosecond is the closest me and you are going to get to eternity in this world, then we are going to be more deliberate about staying here in this moment and no longer going in our minds in the past, wandering over there mindlessly, or wandering mindlessly in the future. We are going to deliberately stay in the now, and we can think about the past or the future, but we have to be aware that we're doing it now. Whenever you remember that now is the only time there is, and time does not exist at all, then you begin to transcend that belief system, and now you understand that if you want something, it's already here like that. And although the form is not here, you still feel completed and whole and sure and sound, and know that it is on the way, because your knowingness that it is already happening here and now, although the form hasn't occurred in my life yet, and deciding that I'm going to know that it's already here, it's going to allow you to flow all your energy and attention and and life force in that one direction of knowing that it's already done, and that physical counterpart of the idea that you have given birth to is going to manifest so much more quickly than if you keep deviating back and forth, keep going from it's I know that there's no time, and then you fall back asleep. Oh, I wonder when it's gonna come. What should I do? What action should I take to get this? Yeah, I know there's no time, and it's gonna come. And then you go back to your old belief systems. You keep vacillating, and your energy is being flowed to so many different directions, and it's going to prolong the amount. It's going to prolong the form coming about in your experience. I really hope that I'm doing a good job to express this state of mind here today. It is making sense to me. I hope it's making sense to you, and I have a very good feeling that it is. But let's just understand that these concepts are more than just concepts. These ideas and words that we're discussing here are more than just ideas and words. This is really what's going on here, and we are so caught up on the form that we believe that the form is all that is, but it is just a portion of the story, a very small, minute, insignificant, minuscule portion of the entirety of what we think we know. There's so much more out there, and when you learn to stay in the now, you will be receptive to that more, that knowingness, and you will know without a doubt this is already happening here and now. And although the form isn't here, I know that it's going to be here, and it's already here right now. And you keep your attention on that knowingness stubbornly, and watch it come about, and watch somebody who wants the same exact thing as you, but their belief system is vacillating back and forth more on the lack of the form being there, rather than knowing that the station of the presence of it is here and now for them to tune into. And you will see that that form will occur much more quicker and effortlessly in your life than it will in this individual who's continuously vacillating, because their energy is being flowed so mindlessly towards so many different thoughts and directions that they're splitting their mind. They are causing doubt, worry, fear, therefore sickness and decay, and that is unnecessary. Me and you are more powerful than we believe, and I'm sure that we're aware of that right now in this moment, and I'm sure that we haven't practiced this thought system long enough for it to become a knowingness, which means that we are going to fall asleep again and forget what we're discussing here today. And it's important for me and you to be aware whenever that occurs, so that way we can wake up and be returned to the real world, because this is the real world. When you're here, there is no fear, there is only love, there is only light, there is only abundance, presence, and everything that you want is here. Whenever you deviate from this state of mind, however, you are going to produce fear, because deviating from your source is going to produce fear, because you are now cutting off your fullness of who you really are to flow through you, because now you're believing in some sort of separation, and that is going to lead to all of the things in this world that you do not want, such as lack of a resource, sickness, decay, and all that stuff that we always talk about. And to avoid that, let's stop giving attention to those things. They are simply illusions. There is no source of fear. There is no source of lack. There is no what people call the devil. There is no source of fear anywhere in this universe. There is simply all that is and the absence of all that is. So although some people may believe that there's a source of love, which they call God, and a source of fear, which they call devil, and those two sources are fighting against each other, opposing one another, that is just a belief system that somebody who was asleep made up. Because whenever you understand how powerful the only source that there is, whenever you know how powerful God is, whenever you understand how powerful love and light is and how expansive it is, you understand that there is only love, and fear, which seems to exist, is simply the lack of what really does exist, but it does have no substance within itself. It is simply nothingness. And how can nothing be at war with everything? That makes no sense. How could a king be at war with a tiny little paper figure with no thought system that is based on reliable information? That's really what's going on here whenever you are identifying with the body and the ego and you're believing in fear. You are believing in this tiny little insignificant shadow that is not really there compared to this grand energy that you are a part of, that you believe that you have cut yourself off from. That is just not so. Whenever we know this and we are anchored in this state of love and light and enlightenment, and we are one with God, and we are following and only listening to the voice of God, i.e., truth, then everything will begin to occur in ways that we can't even explain in this physical world. And that is the point that me and you are going to reach. We have reached today. If you are here with me, we made it. If you are not here with me, do not worry. We are going to get here in a few moments. But let's go ahead and continue. Here does the world remember what was lost when it was made. For here it is repaired, made new again, but in a different light. What was to be the home of sin becomes the center of redemption and the hearth of mercy, where the suffering are healed and welcome. No one will be turned away from this new home, where his salvation waits. No one is stranger to him. No one asks for anything of him except the gift of his acceptance of his welcoming. Christ's vision is the holy ground in which the lilies of forgiveness set their roots. This is their home. They can be brought from here back to the world, but they can never grow in its unnourishing and shallow soil. They need the light and warmth and kindly care, the kindly care Christ's charity provides. They need the love with which he looks on them, and they become his messengers who give as they received. Take from his storehouse, that its treasures may increase. His lilies do not leave their home when they are carried back into the world. Their roots remain. They do not leave their source, but carry its beneficence with them, and turn the world into a garden like the one they came from, and to which they go again with added fragrance. Now are they twice blessed. The messages they brought from Christ have been delivered and returned to them, and they return them gladly unto him. Now, before we read the last paragraph, I do want to say that this form of giving and receiving are one in truth. This form and idea and concept, which is truth, is going to seem like a concept to us because we have learned the exact opposite of this. We don't understand what's being said right here to the degree that we could understand it if we were in this state of mind for a longer period of time on a consistent basis. It would make more sense to us, but because we're not here too often, meaning whenever we go our separate ways, if we are not doing the internal work to remain woke, this concept of whenever you give something, it expands into more and more and more is going to be hard to understand, because right now we believe things of this world are real. We believe that this is form and we give it to you. And how can this expand whenever I give it to you? That's what we believe in right now. And again, this is only showing us a very minute piece of data. This world is, we are only able to interpret a very small percentage of what is really occurring right now. Now, if me and you, which we are doing now, are expanding our awareness, expanding our consciousness and our level of understanding and our knowingness, then something like this will not be far-fetched. It will be common sense to us because we understand that at the basis of everything that we see that we think is physical, we understand that it is simply reflecting an idea. In itself, it is nothing, it is meaningless, it is neutral, it is a symbol, but what lies beyond it, what the symbol is conveying, is an idea that is eternal. And ideas are shared, and ideas shared are expanded and can never go back to the previous state they were in before that expansion occurred. Behold the store of miracles set out for you to give. Are you not worth the gift? When God appointed it to be given to you, when God appointed it be given you, judge not God's Son, but follow in the way he has established. Christ has dreamed the dream of a forgiven world. It is his gift whereby a sweet transition can be made from death to life, from hopelessness to hope. Let us an instant dream with him. His dream awakens us to truth. His vision gives the means for a return to our unlost and everlasting sanctity in God. A beautiful lesson right here. This is something that is going to require us to read a few times on our own in order to really fully understand and grasp that idea. If you feel like you're here and you got it, congratulations. This is only the beginning, because there is so much more levels of awareness that we are going to reach here together in our sessions, in our lessons. But for now, this is a very great stopping place. I know this was an overload of information, and it's going to take some contemplation for us to understand the validity of everything that was just stated. So for now, let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and make sure to practice this practice period today. Me and you give the miracles we have received, and by giving those miracles away, we receive even more. They expand. The miracle becomes more easy to receive next time because we have expanded it in our minds. Therefore, reinforce the idea of miracles. We know that miracles are natural and normal, and there's no more words that I feel need to be said for the rest of the day. So let's go ahead and conclude right there, and me and you will meet here again for tomorrow's lesson 160 of A Course in Miracles.